Hey YouTube. Honestly, I've lost track of the days. It's been a bit hectic this week, but I think it was a week ago that I posted my Bank Sake video. Well, I figure I'll give an update on how that sounds, and I'll play something different on the piano. Oh, I want to get back into the swing of doing videos proper, so we'll see. Alright. I think that sounds a bit better than last week. Oh. So, the song I'm playing on piano, which, sorry if it's crappy quality, as it likely will be. Let's see. I think that may be a little too loud. I'll only know post filming, so we'll see. Sorry if it is. If it is too loud, but there's a volume button there somewhere. I keep looking over here because that's where the recording thing is. Right here. But the camera's actually right around here on my phone, so it's a bit weird there. Alright, but the song is the end theme to Lufia 2 Rise of the Sinistrals. I've been working on a version of this song on piano for the last week. Just from what I can remember from the game. The main notes I've had memorized for a while. I absolutely love the song, but it makes me sad playing it because I know it's happening during the end of the game. If you're curious, look up Lufia 2 Rise of the Sinistrals game ending, and you're sure to find 1,000 videos of it at least. But Lufia is Lufia. 2 is the Roman numerals, but most people probably put 2 as in the actual, or I don't know. I'm not sure how my camera will pick this up because I've recorded it like this before, and it's recording as a mirror on my phone. But I don't know if it transfers to regular on YouTube. I keep on forgetting to look. Alright, without further ado and me rambling. Alright, so... Ah! like I said, I always get sad playing that song because I know the entire story of the game front to back. I've done more than a few 100% playthroughs of the game. And I know the story behind it. I know what's happening during that song. And this game came out back in the 90s on the Super Nintendo. It was one of my first games I ever played. I got a notification about SCP updating. Uh, but Lufia 2 Rise Sinistrals was one of my first games, if not my first game. It's a little blurry going back to whenever I was 3, 4 years old. But I'm not sure if it was Lufia 2, Final Fantasy 1, Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, or...
Well, how about the derp?
Ain't that a way to start off the day? Nearly breaking your frickin' phone. Way to go. I have popped up against a leather preserver. Alright. Anyways, the fourth game. Uncharted Waters? New Horizons. There was another name for it. I can't remember. And there's a Japanese name which I can't pronounce to save my life. But the Uncharted Waters series is also a decent series. I do remember that was also one of my first games, for sure. But out of those 4 games, it's one of those 4 for my very first game. My first game on the new gen consoles for thousands, the PlayStation 1 and shite, was probably Azure Dreams. A game that released mainly, I believe, in Japan and Europe. There were very few American copies made. Well, what I mean to say that is there were very few copies sold in America. My mother lucked out, and she found a copy at a pawn shop for like $10. And the game, when she got it, she could have easily found it for a much higher of a price. I think at the time the game was selling brand new, and our copy was practically brand new, for like 50 or $60. And this was back in the late 90s, early thousands. It was a terrific game. The main premise of it was you were the son of a legend, a monster hunting legend, a monster trapper legend, rather. Your father disappeared inside of the tower that was next to this town years ago, like 15 years ago, or 10 years. Sorry, 10 years. And you're going through this tower. It has 40 floors. 39 of which are actually riddled with monsters. The top floor is the big baddie boss level thing. It has love interests. It has a pretty damn decent story if you actually do everything for the town, which is like building the racetrack, swimming pool, helping the general stores, windmills, stuff like that. Let's see, first game on PlayStation 2. Because that was the game, that was a console I had for that gen. Thinking about it, it might very well be Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. It's got to be that or 3. But maybe Soul Calibur. Maybe Soul Calibur. But anyways, first game on the 360 was a tremendous game by the name of Eternal Sonata. It's the game that came with my 360 when I bought it. The coloration's a bit weird there, it's just because I don't have any sort of filter on the camera. Crap. Anyways, Eternal Sonata, its main premise is... anyone who knows the composer Frédéric François Chopin, it's a telling of his last days, but it's a weird way of putting it. It's based inside the JRPG style. Every character name is either a type of music or some sort of musical term, everything in the game is actually a musical term, just about. Um, but you're going through, you get tidbits back to reality of Chopin's last 3 or 4 days. And inside of the dream world, you're playing mainly as the characters Polka, Chopin, and Allegretto, going through this world and finding the corruption of the world government, basically. Um, I'm not going to go too much into detail, but there you have it. And my first game on the one was Quantum Break, actually. I never beat the game. I got to the boss battle at the very end, or near the very end. I'm not sure because I never beat it, and I haven't actually watched the ending of the game yet. So there you have it. First game I ever played on Xbox Original was actually a demo game for the Hulk, and the first full game I played would have been Fable Lost Chapters. I think it's actually the only Xbox Original game besides Morrowind that I've played. First game I ever played on PC that wasn't a freeware game or a little $1 or $2 game, oddly enough, was a game called Empire Earth, if memory serves. It's very much like the Civilization games. You start off in the Stone Age and you build through, and the ending age I believe was the Neon Age. I had a legitimate file where I actually built everything up and got everything. And then I had the cheat file, where you put in the file name as Gaia, and you start in the Neon Age. Now, I lucked out that my cheat file, when I started with Gaia, there was one civilization that was just on a island square. That was it. They didn't have any place to actually build anything, so they couldn't advance. So by the time I took over the rest of the world, they were still stuck in the Stone Age, and this is couple thousand years in game that's passed. It was hilarious to me at the time, but what I ended up doing was I basically just after I got pretty much a domination victory there, I just let the game go on and on and on, and after I got bored with the file, seeing what I could do, because at that point I had the whole world to build what I wanted to. I was the only civilization that actually had access to the world. And so I built what I wanted to. I checked out everything the game had to offer, and then I just nuked the last guys. um, Probably the first game I ever played on the original Nintendo, which oddly enough I played after I had a Nintendo 64, would have been probably the original Legend of Zelda. Either that or Mario Brothers. Was it 1 or 2? I want to say it was the original Mario Brothers. I did play Duck Hunt and stuff, but that was years later. And then there's Nintendo 64 days. Whew. Super Smash Brothers. Hey You Pikachu. Actually had the whole console and everything. But let's see. I think I've named off all the consoles in my first games there. It's been kind of a more of a record keeping video, I suppose. Play the song from last week. Should have gotten better at it, I think. Play a song I've been putting together, which I think I played decently well, except for the one little hiccup there. And as you've seen, I've just been kind of listing off what I've done for games. First, at least. Right now, I actually have a new profile that I started on the Xbox 360 as kind of a mulligan on the whole thing. It's an offline profile. I'm going through playing Oblivion, Fable, Fable Remastered, or Fable Anniversary, whatever you wish to call it. And what was the other game playing? Sims 3. I've actually been up all night. I've been having a really weird sleep schedule. It has to do with the fact that up until about a month ago, I had worked an entire year night shift. That messes with your schedule. I still haven't quite gotten back to a regular singing schedule. Um, Either way, though, I've been rambling for the last, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, somewhere in there. So what I'm gonna do instead is play the first song I ever learned on piano that I can remember. Let's see how this goes. Now, obviously, I wasn't using my left hand for a good portion of that. That's because I've never actually learned the left hand part, except for the beginning and end. And that's because I don't really have. Well, I have sheet music for a lot of songs, actually. I have 5 books full. And that's just of the beginner's books. I have a couple of intermediate to expert books that I haven't even really gotten into yet. One of the songs I learned from the expert book isn't even the full song, as I am not skilled enough to play it. But it's one that everyone knows. Wow, that happened. I'm gonna turn off that thing. Now, I messed up a lot there. I'm not skilled enough to do a lot of stuff on the piano. What I do know how to do is mediocre, I believe. Kind of harken myself here, but that's the truth of it. I'm not skilled enough on the piano to play a lot of the more popular songs. A lot of what I know how to play is stuff I've learned by ear, stuff I've learned by just figuring it out, more or less. But anyways, I'm going to leave the music off at that. Let's go and turn this off. I've been going for almost 20 minutes. I tend to do that in my videos. I start talking about something or start doing something, and next thing I know, it's 20 minutes later, and I have video full with random thoughts. I can't remember half the stuff I said or did in the video. Jeez. My phone screamed a little weird there for a second. I voted negative, don't know why. And I hope that didn't show up in the recording. Either way, at 20 minutes, this is Cardinal Exodus signing off. I'll be back next week with another song on the piano. And possibly one on the viola. Maybe even the dulcimer. Later, YouTube.